Miniart 1/35 Grant Mk1 Part 7 How to Paint Tools and Stowage. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, it's good to have you with us. Right, this is the magnitude of what I'm facing. That's all the stowage that comes with the kit. I wanted to do a really heavily laden tank. There are some 3D printed bits in there as well. So that's it after it's all been primed. And then it's just the really boring task of hand painting everything. I don't really like hand painting stuff, especially when it's fabric as well, because it's quite difficult and complex to paint. But we'll give it a go. I thought it'd be useful just to show you how I make a wet palette. Now you can pay, I don't know, 20 quid for one of these, but I just make my own. So I get a takeaway container, it's a paper towel, and then make the paper towel nice and wet. I may have gone a bit too far with that, but lots of water onto the paper towel, and then onto that just a piece of greaseproof paper or baking parchment, cut to size, and then that sits on top. And what it does is it sets up a humid environment for your paint, so your paint won't dry out between sessions. And it's really good for mixing paint on as well. So there you go, that's just a little tip for you. So I'm not going to do colour call-outs this time. It's just a variety of greens and browns, sand colours, that sort of thing. You see I have got a bit too much water in there, and it does get a bit wrong in a minute. I think, for example, this is some sort of olive drab. I'm just going to base coat everything, and then we'll come back through and do all the paint effects. Once I've done that big chunk of resin, I can move on to all the smaller parts. And say just a variety of colours, just to mix it up, make it really random. And yeah, just work your way through. Okay, so that's everything base coated, and now we can move on to the highlights. Now I've either used like a glazing method, which you'll see now, or I've just used dry brushing just to bring out the highlights. This is the glazing method though, so I've taken the original base colour, made it slightly lighter, and then I've used a really thin dilute mix of paint, and I'm just going to go over all the raised bits, and then I'll gradually build up that effect with several layers. So here's the next layer, and because the wet palette keeps the paint wet, it's really easy to adjust the tones of the colour without having to remix paint at any time. So you see that's barely noticeable that that's a different colour, but it is very slightly different. So there you go, that's the last layer going on. You see it is noticeable now. You can just start to see the raised edges more clearly. So yeah, just working your way around, just picking out the high spots. And then I put a nice sort of, almost like a cross hatching, just to give the effect of fabric, especially on that flat bit. I think that worked really well. So there you go, that's all the bags and tarps done. I will do the jerry cans, painted them the same as the tank. But let's now move on to the tools. So there are lots of tools on this tank, which is nice. Most of it's going to be covered up with stowage, so that's the only problem. But we'll paint them as they should be. So there are two parts to tools. There's obviously wood, and then there's some sort of metal. So this is just Iraqi sand by AK 3rd Gen. Just picking out the handle of the shovel. And obviously it is quite difficult to paint it when it's on the tank. You've got to get right around the side and not paint the tank in the process. I'll glue that bit on in a minute. So around the handle, you need nicely workable paints for this. So again, your wet palette comes in handy. And then just to add a bit of variety, because it's all about variety, the axe handle I've just done with flat earth just to give it a different colour. But again, the same process. And just to give it a bit of wear and tear, this is I wanted to try something different. Normally I would use an enamel paint for this, but this is just a very, very thin glaze of German camo black brown acrylic, just to give a bit of sense of grime and dirt, and also bring out the natural wood effects. I think I actually prefer this to using enamels or oils, and I've done that on all the wooden bits, so the pickaxe handle and the axe as well. Now for the metal parts, I wanted them to be quite old tools. I don't think the axe got much use in the desert, so I'm just going over with a glaze of a dark rust colour, so the Panzerrace is dark rust, and just giving them an unused effect. And I'll go over all the tools and the tow ropes with this as well. So that's them nicely aged. The last thing that will make them look like metal is just to go over the edges with a graphite pencil, just to give them a bit of sheen, and make them look metallic. This is the AK chipping pencil, graphite, but any soft pencil will do the same job. You just have to be careful that you don't accidentally draw over the tank itself. You see that shovel looks pretty good now, and it really brings all the metalwork to life just doing this, using it on the crowbar, just on the pointy end, a bit down the main body of the crowbar. Okay, time to put it all together now. So using super glue for this, and I'm just going to hang all the bags down the length of the tank on the hanging rail. Using a blunt hypodermic needle just for the super glue, and just working my way along. So there's the first pack going on. And say just continue down both sides. So there you go, that's all the packs in place, both sides and on the rear of the tank. Nicely loaded. Looks really nicely in how it should be. So there you go. That's really just about it. I'll just get all the doors on. Do you want to see what it looks like? Here we go. So this is the finished 1/35 Grant Mk1. Really nice kit. Went together really well. Just a few tips there. I always include an Easter egg. So there's a German helmet on the back. I've used a guitar string for the aerials, and just a thin bit of wire just to hold the spare tracks on. And I think it came out really nicely. Really nicely. I will put this into a diorama. That'll be the next video. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if I did a good job. Let me know if I didn't do a good job and you think that I've over-weathered it. Yeah, your comments are really valuable, so just to help me know what I'm doing is what you guys want. Right, I'm going to leave you some photos. So there you go, everyone. That was the end of that kit and the end of that episode for today. Join me next time when we're going to make some sort of desert scene. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.